The clock is already ticking on newly minted House Speaker Mike Johnson to avoid a government shutdown. The deal was delayed a day as Israel and Hamas worked out some final details. U.S. officials have counted nearly 400 incidents this year, breaking down those numbers and explains what it means for your wallet. The liquor stores are about to expand their Sunday hours thanks to new legislation signed by Governor Hochul. He's currently speaking at AO Fox Hospital. Let's listen in. Concerning Endicott residents for months. It started in the second floor and then it spread to the attic. Something you may have been stuck in this evening after a tractor trailer you see behind me. This was placed on the door of what used to be of our county. Now on this side, this has been a treat for area baseball players over the last few days. The parade featured 11 marching bands, 25 huge balloons. We'll be right back with one final story after the break. Will help to determine who has to tackle various issues, including crime in Endicott. And during various public events I've been to throughout this election season, in fact, the streets are starting to be opened up again. So for any residents of the surrounding area, some good news there. And this time around, he was here to talk about the Safer America plan. You can also give us a call here at 607-240-2627. I'm here with Tom. He's a pantry volunteer. And Tom, tell me how far that donation can go and how it's used. So it's a very easy process. Looks like I was here when he was making one of these calls. It just takes a few minutes, so not much of your time. Thank you so much, Lindsay, for that. So it is free to come here. Some good news. They do plan to do this next summer, so there's definitely more opportunities. Tell us about First in Flight. Messy morning, but maybe just sleep and avoid it all. We will, probably.
If you sleep through it, it didn't happen.
I know.
The more I talk, the more the throat starts scratching.
Well, you're here for us when it comes to the weather. We're here with the tissues.
Yeah, we had that big snowstorm in April.
Don't manifest.
No, but I'm saying, no, I'm not manifesting anything.
And Howard, dare I say, radar looks rather boring.
I was going to say, if you
I would do it for $500. Get the band together. Let's orchestrate this.
There's going to be some really entertaining submissions.
It's quiet for the work week to come. If only we could flop it.
Yeah, that would be nice to have a complete. I've got a lot to keep an eye on.
It's always during our shift.
It seems to be.
Things off of my butt. People have to remember you're just the messenger.
The Constitution actually guarantees postal service, and the fact that the folks in Glen Aubrey, some of whom have to drive now miles away for basic service, is just unacceptable.
This summer, the United States Postal Service announced the Glen Aubrey Post Office would close its operations in late August.
At the end of the day, this is a post office people rely on, and the post office's leadership is just totally ignorant of the challenge.
Since August, for any Postal Service assistance and for some just to get access to their mail, they've had to head to Whitney Point via Route 26. That's roughly 12 miles round trip. Glen Aubrey resident Dave Potter is one of those directly affected.
They claim they have plans to reopen somewheres, but nobody knows of any of these plans.
Potter mentions residents like himself to the west of the former post office now have to venture to the village for any access to mail.
The area to the west of the post office, behind the post office, there's about 20 to 25 homes. We had P.O. boxes, meaning we had to come to the post office to get our mail. There are 3 mobile home parks across the road from the post office, across 26. They have to get their mail through the post office.
He says though this affects everyone to some degree, the elderly population and those with medical needs especially have barriers to face.
It was easier for them to get to this post office to pick up their meds, their prescriptions. A lot of older people don't use the internet, so they're relying on the mail to get their bills, to pay them.
Since the notification, a petition has been set up hoping for change.
So we're pushing. We've had a petition signed. We're trying to get rural delivery set up.
Mark Lawrence is a communications specialist with the United States Postal Service and sent an email to 12 News. He said, quote, "We respectfully decline an interview, but would like to note that we have ample staffing to serve the additional Glen Aubrey customers in Whitney Point. We are currently exploring options for a new location and appreciate the patience of our customers during this time." Jill Croce, 12 News, Broome County.
different shops, and so it's a pretty neat place. It's pretty great place to raise a family.
Of course, over time, some places have come and gone. However, just this month alone, 3 downtown businesses have announced ribbon cuttings.
1, 2, 3.
Confection Connection, Baking by Numbers, and Glow Spa Tanning and Fitness.
I like all the new stores. I think it brings more to the community. To me, it's nice to see small businesses, especially, not being closed down but reopened or revamped.
With the addition of these stores and more in recent months to the greater downtown community, the president and CEO of the Tioga County Chamber of Commerce says this area has a promising future and the fraternity to support it.
When you have communities like this, one of the big advantages is exactly that. You have businesses that support each other. So they support each other with volunteering, they support each other with donating, they support each other with buying from each other's businesses. And you don't necessarily get that with kind of your more metro cities, bigger cities.
When it comes to downtown's appeal, Village of Owego Mayor Mike Barada says there's something for the whole family.
All kinds of different food and desserts and baked goods and gifts and antiques and that kind of stuff.
Not only is there an array of products, but Henriquez highlights that each business has its own personality and brand, so new additions don't negatively impact those long-standing establishments.
They're not really in competition with each other. They're very supportive of each other.
When this downtown area has success, Henriquez says there's a ripple effect for the rural surrounding area. She says when looking at numbers for the county as a whole, there have been 7 ribbon cuttings since January.
For the most part, when you live in a rural community, and I actually grew up in a rural community, for the most part, we have to leave. We have to leave to do anything. We have to leave to go to restaurants. We have to leave to do any activities. So when you have a vibrant downtown, we have a destination. So it's not just a basic downtown, it's a destination.
And while a renaissance is happening now, if you will, Mayor Barada says the momentum can't stop here.
We have a lot of work going on, to revitalize different buildings downtown, especially on North Ave. So I think that'll be really interesting to get some new businesses in there and maybe some more downtown living and that kind of thing.
In Owego, Jill Croce, 12 News.
Trying to make transportation easier for people because that can be a big barrier. So we like to get adults in here, we like to get kids in here. Anyone who wants a bike, and maybe cost is a barrier to them.
To take the seasonal 5-week-long Earn a Bike class at the Lee Barta Community Center, attendees must be at least 9 years old.
We don't charge anything. We exchange time for bikes and bike parts to kind of help the community. Once it gets hard to turn, you need the tool.
Without community donations, the class series offered through the Fresh Cycles program from the Healthy Lifestyles Coalition wouldn't be possible.
I reach out to some local bike shops. I've gotten donations from them. We've gotten donations from the police department in the past. It's all donation-based.
At the outset of the weeks-long hands-on instruction, participants pick a bike to work on. The end goal is to take home that bike after learning about proper use and maintenance practices.
We like to empower people with not only the tools and the space, but also with the knowledge of how to fix their own bikes. We want to make sure that it's up as far as it can go.
Over the span of the 5 weeks, Rotary says the first class is about fixing a flat.
The most common problem people will have where we learn how to inspect tires, fix a flat tire.
The second one focuses on brakes. The third class is about shifting. The next one is a complete tune-up to make sure the chosen bike is ready to go. And the final class is on bike safety. Outside of class through open shops, he's also available for assistance when needed.
Maintaining bikes can be expensive, so we're here to kind of help the community in that aspect.
Participants Malik and Kareem are excited to take their bikes home and embark on that first ride.
Ride my bike all the way to my school. I'm gonna ride my bike. If my bike ever gets a pop tire, I'm gonna ride it here. I'm gonna walk it here.
I hope that they enjoy riding their bikes, are safe on them, and I hope I can see them again and help them in the future.